Mm, That's my house over there. Over there. Over there. Over there. That's my house. So today, I think it's December 6th. Happy Saturday. It is Saturday. And guess what? This Saturday, I wanted to talk to you about the holiday season. My daughter and I did a whole podcast on this holiday joy or holiday blues and how you can navigate the holidays in a better way. I saw a podcast with Oprah and she's talking about the no contact trend. And at first, it made me really upset because I have adult kids and I would be so upset and disappointed if they decided to go no contact. And there was also a parent in there that went no contact. And I was like, wow, that's like very harsh, right? And that's understandable. If somebody has been really rude and disrespectful and threatening you on both sides, you should go no contact, right? Like, we don't really expect people to. I was just looking to see if you could see. That's like my neighborhood over there. Laura and I used to walk this way all the time when we would walk together. Um, and that's like 95 right here. And then on the other side of 95 is where I am. So yeah. That's a lot of chitter chatter for me to get to this point. The point is that during the holiday season, it's a lot of people who have had no contact with their parents because of X, Y, and Z. And very quickly, if you're going no contact, it's for a reason. And hopefully, your other family members that you don't have issues with will still care about you. But if they don't, find friends and support where you can, because really, we shouldn't keep being subjected to abuse. And that was one thing that I think Oprah really did highlight well. She talked about how, a lot of people say, well, back in the day, you couldn't have grown up in my house. Well, you couldn't grow up in my house like that either. And I decided not to be like that with my kids. I don't want it to be that you can't talk to me if you have a problem and you're terrified to share your voice. That's how I grew up. And I also felt like no one cared. So I didn't want my kids to grow up like that. And even though my mom did care, it's like I knew my stepdad didn't. And I knew that in the grand scheme of things, when your little people don't care about what you have to think or what you have to say or how things are affecting you. And then don't let it spill over into your high school years because you'll still be resentful or no one's apologized or anything like that. You'll still be resentful. So of course you'll want to not talk to that person anymore or feel like it's an abuse. Well, it is an abusive situation. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's an abusive situation that nobody should be subjected to. So don't feel that you have to explain that to anyone. After a while where you have pressed through your healing, I feel like you can go back and look at things differently. But most likely, if you had an abusive parent, they're not going to understand or care unless they're doing some kind of self-work. So all that to say, made me think about my kids and how today's society will also agree if, like, you have a spat with your parents that you could talk out, but you decide that this was just another spat that you don't want to talk out anymore and just not talk to them. And I think that's not good. But also, how would anyone on the outside know that? It just makes me scared. Like, we'll have people that are growing up without their grandparents and stuff because people haven't really talked it out with each other. Um, So that was something that I took away from that as well. It was a dad on there, and I'll put the link in this walk. It was a dad on there that was talking about how he had to sit and see the things that he did. And that's how I usually and generally try to be, like, because my kids are always telling me stuff that they went through with me and their dad. And of course, it's hurtful. And I have to sit there and listen because it's their experience. And even though I was like a parent who always try and do the most that I can, it was still parts that I dropped the ball with them. So I just have to accept however that is. And even recently, having issues with how we seen when I put the dog down, how people took it. And when I should not say people, how my family took it was they were very angry with me. Um, Even though we all knew that the time was coming, no one wanted to do it. I did it, and I was the bad guy. And they had no problem telling me I was the bad guy over and over again until blood, sweat, and tears about it. And um, now we're what, 3 months out, and um, it was my daughter who had a hard time with it. She's just now talking to me again. Still rude, still, you know, discontented, I guess, with life. And I perceive it as rude. Anyways. But another thing that I took from Oprah's talk was that the relationship with your children is precious. They are, like, treat them like a precious friend that you wouldn't want to just think that you were doing and being this horrible, terrible way. So that made me also think that's how I think every parent should be that's mature, because we're mature. So a lot of times the young people aren't mature. They haven't gone through a lot of things, so they don't even understand, like, that we've been where they are, have experienced a lot of things, and that what you're saying has some kind of value. So I think that's important to realize as well. Like, don't just be mad with them, have grace, have mercy, and treat them like that treasured friend. Because in the end, me as an adult who's on a journey of self-discovery, trying to be at peace with all man, I don't want to grow up without my grandkids. I don't want to grow up without my kids, because I love them. I treasure them. I think they're amazing. Even when they have moments that they're rude to me or have, like, acted disappointed, um, not acted disappointed, um, like, treated me in a way that I did not think was okay. Um, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't okay. And my friend, who's a psychologist, not a psychologist, she's a sociologist, was talking to me about it, and she, like, helped me process it. Um, she said that, we as parents have expectation for our kids, and that's not good or bad, but we build stuff up with them a certain way, and I can't be like that. I gotta let them be free to make whatever decision they want to make. And that was hard. So I just look at it as me, as someone who's trying to be well adjusted, is struggling with how my kids and I are processing through life together. I can't imagine people who really are not trying to see the other person's perspective. And that's hard when everyone is navigating through the world, to be without your parents that have done things before and that are supposed to love you and protect you. I don't want to be part of that. That's why I'm willing to go out of my way. And even today, I got pissy because I don't want to be snapped at when I'm just trying to be nice or give you good advice. But maybe that's my bad. I shouldn't be thinking to give anyone advice. I need to get out of that. I'm not the problem solver for the world. I'm not even the problem solver for myself. But I just got pissy and I just was like, you know what? I actually don't care. Do whatever you want, even though you're in my house or whatever and being rude. Do whatever you want. I'm doing this now and I'm gonna be at peace. So I think I'm gonna go over here because I'm only gonna walk for 15 minutes. I think I'm gonna go over here and then I'm gonna wrap this walk up. But and I already was having a hard morning. You know how that is. You just um are going through your own thing as an adult. I don't get a mental health day, even though everyone talks about mental health days and young people say that to me. My kids will be like, oh, I need a mental health day. I'm an adult now. And it's like, me as an adult doesn't get a mental health day because I didn't deserve to get the news I got today. So, and I'm not even being funny. I'm just laughing because it's like laugh or cry. Which one am I going to choose today? Because really, and it's people doing mental health work that are just being inconsiderate and just thinking like they're the only ones who have something that's going on. I need a mental health day. This is my mental health right now, walking around, being outside. Woo! Because why not? Today is the day the Lord has made, and I'm going to be what? Glad right in it. I'm going to trust in the Lord and what? Do right. Because even though people don't want to do right to me, I'm going to be the one that does right. And the Lord is going to be my shield in this season of my life that I'm going through so much of changes. But yeah, so hopefully this holiday season, if you've decided to go no contact with your parents or a family member, you get other support. And hopefully you can take that time to heal and not feel that anything that you're doing for yourself to feel good and whole is bad. How can that be bad? At first, I was like, oh, but it's your mom. But when you watch that podcast, you'll see what they're talking about. That's such an ignorant way to say. And I'm only saying that for my reference because I am a mom who tried her best. And when I got corrected about it, I said, ouch, and had to keep going. So it's like, I can't be like that. So do what you have to do for your healing. Press through for your healing. I'm going to have the link for Oprah's podcast, Dom and I's podcast in the description. And lastly, parents who are trying their best with their kids, make sure you're treating them as a treasured friend. This is somebody you don't want to be upset with you because you love them. And not to say you can't be upset with them, but no, you don't want years, months, weeks, and days to go by where you're just angry with each other for whatever reason. You know why? You could die tomorrow. They could die tomorrow. They could die today. You could die today. Time is too short. Life is too short. And we need to treasure each other like that jewel of time that is not forever. We're not going to have each other forever. So that's why you should treat them as a treasured friend. And another thing that my friend had advised me on, which I think is like such a gem, she said, Roxy, you had your kids early. So it's some things that I took for granted in that. She had waited and prayed for her kids. And even though I did always want to be a mom, and I prayed that my husband and I would have like this great family, it's people who really prayed for years. So their perspective of how treasured their kids are is different. And even though yes, I love them, somewhere in there, I didn't respect that they were that jewel. So I had to remember that. And I want you to remember that for you that are going through stuff with your kids. Everyone goes through something with their kids at some time or another. So we have to remember that it's normal. I did it to my mom. You probably did it to your mom. And we all hopefully will come back together at some point in time, right? That's one thing that I think is a good takeaway lesson, that our kids are our treasured relationships. We have to love them and remember that they're special. There's no one else like them. It's no one else like you. So even if you're in a messed up situation with them, it's never too late to start over with them. Not saying that you guys just forget everything, but it's never too late that you guys can say sorry and move forward from there. So I hope that you will see yourself through eyes of compassion, because you're a beautiful light. Your child's a beautiful light, even if you can't see it right now. You are a beautiful light, even if you can't see it right now. You keep declaring and saying that over yourself. Even when I don't see the jewel that I am, I still am, and I'm going to keep moving forward. All right. Look, it is so nice out here. It is cold, though. Hot girl walk over. Still got a little bit more, but I love y'all, and I hope that you have a great rest of your Saturday.